Something shifted in the NBA landscape exactly 48 hours ago, and the ripple effects are about to change everything we thought we knew about this season. January 15th came and went, and with it, the entire trade market just exploded wide open. Dozens of players who were untouchable last week suddenly became available, and the chess pieces are moving faster than anyone anticipated. And let me tell you, Lakers Nation, what I'm about to share with you isn't just another trade speculation. This is about a legitimate opportunity that could redefine our entire season, our playoff chances, and possibly the next 5 years of Lakers basketball. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, your trusted source for everything purple and gold. I'm here to bring you the most up-to-date news, the hottest rumors, and the deepest analysis on our beloved Lakers. And today, we're diving into something that has me more excited than I've been in months. Before we get into the specifics, let me set the stage for you. The Lakers are currently sitting in a position that's both frustrating and promising at the same time. We're hovering around that play-in tournament territory, which frankly isn't good enough for a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We all know it. The coaching staff knows it, and most importantly, the front office knows it. The talent is there, the foundation is solid, but something's missing. That extra gear we need to compete with the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Clippers. We're close, but close doesn't cut it in this league. Close doesn't win championships, and that's exactly why what's happening behind the scenes right now matters so much. Look at our current roster construction. We've got two of the best players in the league in LeBron and AD. We've got solid role players who know their assignments. But there's a glaring issue that keeps showing up night after night, and I know you've all noticed it too. Our perimeter defense has been inconsistent at best, and frankly, inadequate at worst. When teams start attacking us on the wings, when those athletic guards and forwards decide to turn up the intensity, we struggle. We don't have that lockdown defender who can completely take away the opponent's best perimeter player. We don't have that explosive athlete who can guard multiple positions at an elite level while also providing a scoring punch on the other end. That two-way versatility has been the missing ingredient all season long. And here's where it gets interesting. The front office has been quietly, methodically, exploring every available option in the trade market. This isn't panic mode, this is strategic planning. Rob Pelinka has been working the phones, evaluating talent, assessing fits, and most importantly, identifying players who could genuinely move the needle for us. We're not looking for marginal upgrades. We're not interested in sideways moves that look good on paper but don't actually improve our championship odds. We're hunting for that difference maker, that player who can elevate us from good team to legitimate contender. And after weeks of evaluation, after countless hours of film study and internal discussions, a name has emerged as a primary target. A name that represents everything we need right now. Let me paint a picture for you of what the ideal Lakers acquisition would look like in this trade market. First, we need youth. Not just young, but someone who's entering their prime. Someone who can contribute immediately while also being part of our future beyond LeBron's playing career. Second, we need athleticism. Raw, explosive, game-changing athleticism that can impact both ends of the floor. Third, we need versatility. Someone who can guard multiple positions, switch on defense seamlessly, and create mismatches offensively. Fourth, we need upside. Someone who hasn't fully tapped into their potential yet. Someone who in the right system with the right coaching could take another leap. And finally, we need someone hungry. Someone who has something to prove. Someone who's ready to embrace the Lakers spotlight and use it as fuel to reach that next level. Now, finding a player who checks all those boxes isn't easy. In fact, it's nearly impossible. Most young, athletic, versatile players with upside are locked into long-term deals with teams that have no intention of moving them. But every once in a while, circumstances align. Every once in a while, a situation develops where a talented player becomes available, not because of lack of ability, but because of fit issues, philosophical differences, or simply bad timing. And that's exactly what's happening right now with one of the most intriguing young talents in the Western Conference. Someone who plays in our division. Someone who has been inconsistently utilized despite obvious talent. Someone who, according to multiple reports, has grown frustrated with his current situation and is ready for a fresh start. Before I reveal who we're talking about, let me give you some context on why this particular player makes so much sense for the Lakers specifically. Our offensive system under Darvin Ham has evolved significantly this season. We're playing faster, we're pushing the pace more consistently, and we're trying to maximize transition opportunities before defenses get set. That style requires athletic wings who can run the floor, finish above the rim, and make quick decisions in space. Defensively, we're switching more than we ever have, which means we need players who can credibly defend positions 2 through 4 without creating mismatches. And culturally, we need someone who embraces the pressure that comes with playing for the Lakers. Someone who sees Los Angeles as the opportunity of a lifetime rather than a burden to carry. The player I'm talking about is 22 years old. He's 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's one of the most explosive athletes in the entire league, capable of playing above the rim in ways that remind you of prime athleticism. He averaged over 16 points per game last season and showed flashes of being able to create his own shot at a high level. He's shot better than 35% from three-point range over the last 2 seasons, which means he's not just a dunker, he's developing into a legitimate 3-level scorer. Defensively, when engaged and given clear assignments, he's shown the ability to lock down elite wings. He has the lateral quickness to stay in front of guards and the strength to battle with bigger forwards. In other words, he's exactly the type of player we've been searching for all season. And here's the kicker. This player has reportedly been in and out of his current team's rotation, despite his obvious talent. There's been friction between him and his head coach about his role, about consistency, about expectations. He's been vocal about wanting a bigger opportunity, about wanting to be featured more prominently in the offense. And when a young player with this much talent becomes frustrated with his situation, that's when opportunity knocks for teams like the Lakers. That's when a trade becomes not just possible, but probable. I'm talking about Jonathan Kuminga from the Golden State Warriors. And yes, the Lakers have confirmed interest in making this happen. Let me be crystal clear about what I'm saying here. According to league sources and multiple credible reports, the Lakers have identified Kuminga as a target. The interest is legitimate, it's concrete, and it represents a shift in how we're approaching this trade deadline. We're not just looking for veterans on expiring contracts. We're not settling for rental players who will help us for 3 months and then leave in free agency. We're targeting someone who can be part of our core moving forward, someone who fits our timeline both in the short term and long term. Kuminga is exactly that player. Think about what Kuminga brings to the table that we desperately need. First, that perimeter defense I mentioned earlier. When Kuminga is locked in defensively, he's one of the most disruptive wing defenders in the league. He has the physical tools to completely take away an opponent's primary option on the perimeter. Imagine him checking Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Devin Booker in a playoff series. Imagine him switching onto Nikola Jokic in the post and holding his ground because of his strength and length. That versatility alone would transform our defensive identity overnight. Second, the athleticism in transition. LeBron still loves to push the pace and create easy baskets in the open floor. Having Kuminga running alongside him, filling lanes, finishing lobs, creating second-chance opportunities with his offensive rebounding, that would make our transition offense elite. Third, the scoring punch. Kuminga has proven he can get buckets when given the opportunity. He attacks closeouts aggressively, he finishes through contact, and he's becoming more comfortable creating his own shot off the dribble. That's huge for us in those moments when LeBron and AD need a breather, or when the offense stagnates. But here's what excites me most about the possibility of Kuminga in a Lakers uniform. The fit, the mentoring, the opportunity for growth. Imagine Kuminga learning from LeBron James every single day in practice. Imagine him picking AD's brain about how to use his length and athleticism more effectively. Imagine him working with our coaching staff who would give him a clearly defined role with specific responsibilities. Something he hasn't consistently had in Golden State. The Warriors have been trying to balance their championship window with their development timeline, and sometimes Kuminga has been caught in that awkward middle ground. With the Lakers, there's no confusion. He would be a core piece, a featured player, someone we build around for both the present and the future. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost. What would it actually take to get this deal done, and are the Lakers willing to pay that price? This is where things get complicated but also fascinating from a strategic standpoint. The Lakers' biggest challenge in any trade scenario is our lack of draft capital. We can only include one first-round pick in a deal, specifically our 2032 first-rounder. That's it. That's our entire draft pick currency. For a player of Kuminga's caliber and age, that's probably not going to be enough by itself. The Warriors would want more, especially considering they'd be trading him within the division to a direct competitor. That's where creative roster construction comes into play. According to reports, the Lakers are exploring ways to turn that single 2032 first-round pick into multiple draft assets. By potentially including that pick in a separate transaction with a team that values future firsts, and receiving multiple second-round picks or lesser protected firsts in return. Then, we could package those multiple picks along with salary matching contracts to make a competitive offer for Kuminga. It's complicated. It requires coordination between multiple teams, but it's absolutely doable. And the fact that our front office is thinking this creatively, that they're willing to work through the complexity to get their target. That tells me how serious we are about making this happen. The other piece of the puzzle is matching salaries. Kuminga makes around $6 million this season, which means we'd need to send out roughly that amount to make the trade legal under the CBA. That likely means including someone like Rui Hachimura or Jard Vanderbilt, plus additional pieces. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Rui has been solid for us, and Vanderbilt, when healthy, is a good defender. But here's the reality. Kuminga's ceiling is higher than both of those players combined. Kuminga at 22 has the potential to be an all-star, a two-way force, a cornerstone piece. If giving up Rui or Vanderbilt plus picks is what it takes to get Kuminga, you make that deal 10 times out of 10. The upgrade in talent, the upgrade in upside, the upgrade in what he can become with us. It's absolutely worth it. Let's also address the Warriors' perspective on this potential trade. Why would Golden State move Kuminga at all? Well, despite his talent, there's been persistent tension between Kuminga and head coach Steve Kerr about role and expectations. Kuminga wants to be a featured player, wants consistent minutes, wants the offense to run through him more. But the Warriors are in win-now mode with Steph Curry, and Kerr has specific demands for his rotation players that Kuminga hasn't always met consistently. That philosophical divide has created a situation where both sides might benefit from a fresh start. The Warriors could use the return from a Kuminga trade to add more experienced pieces that fit their immediate championship timeline. And Kuminga gets to go to a situation where he's valued as a centerpiece, rather than a developing prospect. There's also the contract situation to consider. Kuminga is extension eligible, and negotiations haven't progressed, according to reports. He's going to be looking for a significant pay raise when his rookie contract expires, and the Warriors might not be willing to commit that money to someone who hasn't fully clicked in their system. The Lakers, on the other hand, would absolutely be willing to invest in Kuminga long-term if he comes here and performs at the level we believe he's capable of. We'd have his bird rights. We could offer him the contract he deserves, and we could build our future around a core of Kuminga, plus whatever young talent we add in upcoming drafts. That long-term vision is incredibly appealing. Let me paint you a picture of what Lakers basketball would look like with Jonathan Kuminga on the roster. Starting lineup: D'Angelo Russell at point guard, Austin Reeves at shooting guard, Kuminga at small forward, LeBron James at power forward, Anthony Davis at center. Already, that lineup is more versatile, more athletic, more dynamic on both ends. In transition, you've got multiple players who can push the pace and finish above the rim. In the half court, you've got spacing with Russell and Reeves as shooters. You've got creation with LeBron, you've got rim pressure with AD, and you've got that explosive slashing ability with Kuminga attacking closeouts. Defensively, you can switch everything. Kuminga can guard the opponent's best perimeter player. LeBron and AD can patrol the paint, and suddenly we have the defensive versatility to match up with anyone in the league. That's a championship caliber starting five. But it's not just about the starting lineup. Think about the rotations, the flexibility we'd have. You could stagger LeBron and Kuminga so there's always an elite athlete on the floor. You could play them together in big moments when you need both scoring and defense. You could use Kuminga as your primary defender on opposing stars, allowing LeBron to conserve energy for offense. The combinations are endless, and that's exactly the kind of roster versatility that wins playoff series. In a 7-game series against Denver, against Boston, against any elite team, having Kuminga gives you options you simply don't have right now. It gives Darvin Ham the ability to adjust his game plan without sacrificing talent or fit. That's invaluable in the postseason, and let's talk about what this move would signal to the rest of the league. If the Lakers pull off a trade for Jonathan Kuminga, it sends a clear message. We're all in on competing for a championship right now, but we're also building for sustained success. We're not just trying to squeeze one more title out of LeBron's career and then rebuilding from scratch. We're creating a bridge to the post-LeBron era, and Kuminga would be the centerpiece of that bridge. That message matters for free agency, for future trade discussions, for convincing stars around the league that the Lakers organization knows what it's doing. It matters for our culture, for our fan base, for our identity as a franchise. This would be a statement move in every sense of the word. Now, I want to be realistic with you all. This isn't a done deal. Trade negotiations are complex, especially when you're dealing with a division rival like the Warriors. There are legitimate obstacles to overcome, from draft capital limitations to salary matching to Golden State's potential reluctance to help a competitor. But the interest is real, the fit is undeniable, and the motivation exists on both sides to make something happen. Over the next few weeks, leading up to the trade deadline, this Kuminga situation is going to be one of the most closely watched storylines in the entire NBA. And as Lakers fans, we need to be paying attention to every development, every report, every hint about where this is heading. So here's my final analysis on this potential Kuminga trade. From a talent perspective, it's a home run. This is exactly the type of move that defines our season, and your voice matters in this conversation. If you want to stay updated on every development with the Kuminga situation, with all the latest Lakers news, with trade deadline coverage and playoff analysis, Make sure you're subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report. Hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell, and drop a like on this video if you're as excited as I am about this possibility. We're here every single day, bringing you the most comprehensive Lakers coverage anywhere on YouTube, combining insider information with passionate fan perspective. This is where you get the real story, the detailed analysis, and the unfiltered truth about our beloved Lakers. Until next time, Lakers Nation, let's keep the faith. Championship number 18 is within reach, and moves like this Kuminga trade could be exactly what gets us there.